Hello and welcome to Anne Arundel County's Real Talk. I'm your host, Derek Matthews. In this episode, we will have an update on a few special projects working on here in Anne Arundel County. Let's take a quick peek at a few activities that have happened around town since the last time we chatted. The county executive delivered the first ever State of the County address in front of a packed house. Our Gun Violence Prevention Subcommittee presented their report on December 19th at the Belcher Pavilion at 2000 Medical Parkway up on the 7th floor. What an awesome event that was. Let's take a quick break, and when we return, we'll be talking to Ramon Robinson, our Director of Transportation for Anne Arundel County.
Carpooling with rideshare is great. Less worry, less stress.
So much time to do other things.
I just booked a timeshare for summer vacation.
I just watched highlights from last night's game. What about you, Jenny? Jenny?
Rideshare is free and easy. Go to commutercrew.org and we'll match you up with others so that you can relax and have time to do what you do best.
And welcome back. We're here with my good friend and associate, Ramon Robinson, the Anne Arundel County Office of County Executive's Transportation Director. My man, always a pleasure to talk to you.
Mr. Matthews, finally get me on your show, man.
I always love having you, man. Always love having you. So look, I remember the first time we chatted, we went to lunch, and it was almost like you were so incredibly versed on transportation.
Right.
I remember like, what is this dude talking about? And I've seen you now come like full circle, man. You got some good stuff going on. I just want to touch on a little bit. Right. But first, let's just talk about you for a second so folks can know who you are. Where you from? I know transportation's been your thing for a minute. Yeah, just give me a little bit, tell the folks a little bit about who you are.
So, my name is Ramon Robinson. I'm originally from Hampton, Virginia.
Okay.
All right, so, you think about Hampton, Virginia, you think about a lot of athletes.
Yeah.
Tony Rutland, Allen Iverson.
Okay.
You got some pretty cool people. Those folks went to Bethel High School where I went to school.
Okay.
I went to college in Durham, North Carolina.
Okay.
So I actually went on a partial music scholarship. Right?
Okay.
So I went for academics, for environmental science and geography.
Nothing to do with transportation.
Nothing at all, right?
Go figure that. Right.
And then I had a partial scholarship playing the tuba in the marching band. So I learned a lot from that. I was in the jazz band, went overseas. Okay. They cut like 2 CDs.
Okay.
I played
we got to get you back and talk about that. I like that. So cool. So now I just want to talk a little bit about what it's like to be the Director of Transportation for a county like Anne Arundel. What does that do? What do you do every day?
Right.
What does the Transportation Director do?
So the first thing is, I will say this. What is it like to be the Director of Transportation? It's really surreal.
Okay.
Because before in Anne Arundel County, transportation kind of was set up in a lot of different little pockets. It wasn't really something that was kind of consolidated and all in one place and had one focus, just like you said. So I feel good. So now, if I confused you before, now you know.
Let's go ahead and confuse me. 'Cause while I'm getting confused, I'm getting educated. That's what I want our folks to know.
So what a day is like is we have been over the course of the last 3 years. So when I came as a sole individual, and the direction that I was given is that, in Anne Arundel County, we really do need to have one uniform approach to transportation and kind of one unit that speaks for the county as it relates to all modes of transportation. So the first year it was about doing an appraisal, situational appraisal of all the different pieces and all the things that we have. The second year was we put it together, and then we kind of started to put it into action, and then also figuring out what are those things that we were missing. So now in this third year, or the third year for me, it's kind of like, okay, now we have a office that actually supports modal principles, and the vision and the goals of that is to make sure that Anne Arundel County is a mobility manager in the regard of having mobility principles and practices so that we are improving quality of life, so that we are improving the environment, so that we are, making this a livable place, right?
I'm glad to hear the environmental piece, because I had Matt Johnston on here a couple weeks ago. We talked about the environment, and I know the whole emissions thing and all of that is critical to the environment.
Absolutely.
So you look at all of that in transportation too?
We absolutely do, because when you think about transportation,
Yeah.
70% of it has to deal with whether it's vehicles, right, or roadways and the way things are being built, or airplanes, or all of that, and all of that has some type of environmental association to it. So you can't get away from it in transportation. It's just inherent as a part of making improvements. Better transportation actually make for better environments, right? So you can't get away, even from the standpoint of noise, right? So one of the things that my office does is we work with the Maryland Aviation Authority on this Metroplex roundtable, and one of the things that we're looking at is the issues of airport noise.
I remember that. I remember that being part of the conversation and me saying, why is he so involved in airplanes going over? And you schooled me on that.
Airport noise, and even highways. So highways, when highways are being built, you want to make sure that you've got the right infrastructure in place so that you're not contributing to noise. So a lot of times people don't realize that noise is also an environmental or can be an environmental issue, right?
So I know you got a lot, so let's narrow it down while I got you here. So one of the many projects on your desk is this new piece we're hearing about called Move Anne Arundel. Can you talk about Move Anne Arundel?
So Move Anne Arundel is the county's first functional transportation master plan. And what we mean by that is, you're a tactical guy. From everything has a plan and everything kind of has a playbook. So what Move Anne Arundel is kind of a compilation of a transit plan, a bicycle plan, a pedestrian plan, a complete streets plan, a corridor plan. And so we took all of these different plans and we put them together to say, okay, you know what, we need a playbook and a framework as to how Anne Arundel County is going to be successful in being a mobility manager or managing mobility. And so we did this, and by doing this, we came up with goals, objectives, performance measures. And so all of that being said, we combined it all with what is now Move Anne Arundel, aptly titled, right? Because the whole goal of it is how do we get Anne Arundel County moving? And it has a whole bunch of different components and pieces to it. But the foundation of it is a plan for mobility management, and then how we are facilitating these different modes to facilitate these plans. We actually went through a process. So the process, the plans were started back in 2012, and they were associated with the 2009 General Development Plan. So this year, we just completed the plan, and the plan was resolute. So there's a resolution for the plan that passed on November the 19th. So now Anne Arundel County, along with its first Office of Transportation, has its first functional transportation master plan.
Awesome. Okay, so we don't have a lot of time, so in wrapping up, folks that have now heard from you, heard Move Anne Arundel, if they want to know more about it, can we direct them somewhere?
Yes, we can. So you can go to, www.aacounty.org. I guess that would be /transportation. So that would be the Office of Transportation, and everything that you want to see is there. You can navigate around the site. You can look and see what we do as it relates to commuter connections, which is another mobility avenue that we have. You can look at some of the legislation that we've passed to kind of help us with mobility. There's a litany of things that are there that are definitely be willful for people to look at.
So let me hit you with this, and then I'm gonna wrap up. I would like to get an invitation to actually do a ride. I'd like to maybe ride around the county one day and do something live with me and you, and kind of show them, like, on a live version what it's like to move through Anne Arundel County on public transportation. You think we could do something like that?
I think it would. I think it would be cool. I think, and as we're sitting here talking about it, I think it would be good to kind of see how complex it is, and also how the plan that we have is trying to limit some of the complexities that we have as it relates to making transportation.
So let's work on that, and then we'll do that, and then we'll come back and we'll share how much fun that was, and then we'll show it.
Sounds good.
As we do it.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Okay, that wraps up this week's edition of Real Talk. You can watch this episode and archive episodes online at any time at Anne Arundel County's main page or on Facebook or YouTube by searching Arundel TV Real Talk. Please tune in again next week for more highlights and news on special projects from around the county. Next week, we'll be discussing gun violence and our efforts to curb the cycle of gun violence here in our county. Thank you, and until next time, I'm your host, Derek Matthews, and this was Real Talk. Have a good day.